What's up, everybody? I'm Triple Six.
I'm Dread.
Tonight's review:
Mobile Suit Fighter G Gundam.
Gundam Fighters ready?
Go.
Okay, okay. So this review is kind of a little different from our other reviews where we actually don't have a physical case. It is out on DVD. It is out on VHS,
DVD, Blu-ray,
Crunchyroll and stuff.
Crunchyroll has it.
YouTube. I also don't have a model kit to show for us to be able to say, hey, here it is. Sadly, I don't at this time. It is on my list of buys. It's interesting how it is. Shall we go into history?
Yeah.
It's the 14th Gundam fight.
Well,
yeah.
We'll go intro history first.
Yeah.
Earth has been split. Earth and space have been split up into separate colonies. Well, to be frank.
Yeah.
And all been neoized. Like Neo Japan, Neo China, Neo France. I think Neo America, technically.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the 13th Gundam fight.
Yes.
They usually happen every 4 years.
Yeah, just think of other things, just with giant robots.
Yep, just like the Olympics, every 4 years.
Just as much bullshit.
Yeah. Now we do have a huge cast of characters, but mind
we're gonna mainly focus on a few of them.
Some that the ones that are very important. Starting with Neo Japan's fighter, Domon
Kajo.
Now, I'll give Domon credit. He's a skilled fighter. He's the King of Hearts. We'll get to what that means in a minute.
It's just that you could say he suffers from early to mid 90s shonen disease.
There's a few other things.
Dumb as a rock and only thinks of fighting.
I mean, he's not completely dumb as a rock, but he doesn't really show his intelligence like he should.
Hell, you could make the argument Goku has more of a brain than he does outside of fighting. And this is the same Goku who thought marriage was something you eat.
I'm not joking because of that comment. I'm actually, it goes in the same content. Domon couldn't figure out who he was in love with until the climax of this, towards the climax of the season. My dumb butt made the suggestion that he may like it because his fascination with martial, with his fascination of
usual shonen
and wrestling.
Oh, more shonen anime. Yeah. We're gonna go with more of the shonen anime.
Now, Domon is the typical fighter. He studies a version of Kenpo. He's a very good fighter. And he's actually very... I'll give him credit for what he can do. But there's so much that... Thankfully, he gets a lot of character development as the show goes on. That's what saved his butt.
For the most part.
Yeah. His partner slash mechanic slash medic is named Rain. Rain? I can't say the last name, so I'm not even going to try.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to butcher this woman's name. She's a very beautiful woman. She's a very smart woman. She's a doctor.
Unfortunately, she suffers from a small disease of herself. It's a dumbass in distress.
Yeah. Sadly, this is not one of the case. Well, she can take care of herself. She's a good fighter. Not compared to some of the other fighters.
No.
I mean, as for civilians, she can take care of herself in a fight.
Right.
She
The only
is
issue
smarter.
is most of her captures happen off screen.
Yeah. And
Now, granted, she doesn't get captured too much.
No.
That it becomes annoying. But at least enough that it becomes noticeable.
Yeah. What was it? She now, mind you, this woman is. When I say smart, I'm not saying like smart like me or Dredd. I'm talking about this woman's a freaking rocket scientist, and I do mean rocket scientist. She's a medical doctor, and she knows how to fix a Gundam. Do you understand how complicated this system is?
Well, let's not get into that.
Especially the way this cockpit's set up.
Let's actually talk about how the fight. Before we get into any more characters, if we need to, let's talk about how the fights
happen.
Yeah.
First off, please understand the rules. One, if your head is destroyed, your head unit, the suit's unit's head unit is destroyed. It is an instant. It's an instant kill.
Yeah.
Means you're toast out of the tournament. It's a tournament. Two, you're not allowed to aim for the cockpit. And starts at the cockpit is an automatic disqualification. 3.
Not that said as often as it needs to be.
Yeah, there's a few people who don't like playing by that rule. 3.
I don't like that rule in general.
Well, they're supposed to.
I know I'm making a point.
Yeah, I know. 3.
That doesn't affect my score.
No. 3.
The other things affect my score, but
It is only 1-on-1.
yeah, it should always be 1-on-1 unless the rules of the fight say otherwise.
Yes.
Which that part comes important later on.
Yeah. That is rule 3. Rule 4. There is no outside. No one is allowed to interrupt a fight, interfere with the fight once it has started. You do, you become a problem, and both fighters can attack you.
Now,
We see this actually happen.
if I had to make the only comparison I could actually make, which even this is not a good comparison, but it's the only one I can make, is Power Rangers Jungle Fury.
Yeah.
The suit that they're wearing inside the cockpit is somehow has the technology where the Gundam itself can mimic the person in the suit.
Basic design is super advanced motion capture.
Yeah.
One, it's a skin type bodysuit.
Yeah, it's actually hyper advanced.
Yeah. The cockpit is not a sitting cockpit. It's actually a room cockpit that they can move around in. It is a hyper advanced motion capture system. They literally punch. When they punch, the suit punches. When the suit's damaged, they get hurt.
Now, before we get into the other characters and
Suits.
also our maybe other issues,
Yeah. These come in play. And we have
one thing we need to mention is that even more than Gundam Wing, definitely more than Gundam Wing, this was clearly we want to try to get a hold of the American audience.
And sadly, this was actually made before Gundam Wing. This show was originally released before Gundam Wing was released in Japan. So it is a little bit more dated in graphics.
Yeah,
So,
and as animation on the older shows isn't put the same standard as newer ones.
so that will not affect. That does not help. That actually helps its scoring.
Momentarily.
Momentarily. Now, there is another character part of Team Japan, Neo Japan. Now, Domon's story, we're not going to go full into it.
Yeah, no.
His story though is a sad one.
Now,
It seems like all the
I think I actually think the main issue with this show,
is the person sometimes.
no, I think it may be a bit too long.
I don't know whether it's too long or too short in how they did it, because of how the whole thing is set.
Right. I'm just saying some fights needed to be shorter, or some fights just didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
I understand the factor of show don't tell,
Yeah.
but sometimes that rule needs to be broken. Not too bad.
Just enough to make it.
No, hell, like it had a pacing issue.
Yeah, there's episodes that were like.
This show did not need. I don't think this show needed to be 48 episodes long.
Not really.
Did not need to be 4 chords.
No, maybe 30 something.
Yeah, 3 chords at the most.
Yeah. So we're gonna get now. For Neo Japan's suits. Now, Neo Japan actually had 3 suits, 2 registered to fight in the fighting. Yes, that's cats in the background. There is Shining Gundam and then Burning Gundam, or Shining Gundam and God Gundam. Technically, Japan actually had 4 suits.
We're not.
We're not going to go into that. And then main suit Rising.
Now we don't really need to get into the other characters, mainly for one reason. Presentation-wise, they don't actually seem to matter.
Not everybody. I mean, there's the members of the Shuffle Alliance, the new. The show's
I was
generation.
actually referring to them.
Oh, I was just saying maybe we should just represent say the name, the country, and who they are.
Yeah.
But there's also something we could talk a little about. There is Neo France. As we said, Domokasu is the king of hearts. He is the leader. I'm gonna look up real quick.
Now, another character as he goes into that is Dortmund's Master Asia.
Former King of Hearts. And
I don't know if he was he was also Japan's champion, or if he was Hong Kong's champion.
No, he won the 12th fight for Hong Kong, but he was a former fighter for Japan for several years prior to that. Okay, found the members. Domon Kasu, King of Hearts. Sai Saichi, Club Ace.
And from Neo China.
Yeah. And user of the Dragon Gundam. Argo Golsky, the Black Joker, Neo Russia, and the pilot of Bolt Gundam. He is an interesting person.
Right.
Due to the fact that he's actually a prisoner, being forced to fight. This was not voluntary. Some of these people are not voluntary.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah. George the Sun, Jack of Diamonds, noble boy. Part from Neo France and the part of Rose Gundam.
Actually, I wouldn't. Yes, noble is a. I was more for it as a white knight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we got the representative of Neo America.
Jiminy Crockett. Now, he is somebody that I actually found very interesting in a psychological standpoint.
Right.
And I do want to talk about him. I know we skipped over the others.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But he
sometimes either for not enough representation of the show, or the story's a bit more plot relevant.
I am going to mention this. Saisashi is a student of the Shaolin Temple. His family's been his leaders. He's trying to get it back. George is fighting because of his family's honor. Argo is actually fighting not for himself, freedom for himself, but for his former crew. Ghibli is actually from America, North America. From the U.S. actually. From New York, even. He believed in the American dream. He wanted to show that you could do it. He went off to be a boxer. The world universal heavyweight champion. And he actually was the belt. He is the belt holder. Now, there is a few things about Ghibli that this is going to be a bit of a plot.
We're just not going to...
well, I do want to talk about it.
Keep it brief.
He has a fear of clowns. And it's not like, oh, I'm just scared. No. He's terrified. He has his reasons. It's medically speaking. This is medical speaking. He suffered a trauma as a child. And I'm not talking like he was something happened. I mean, like something happened, but not like, ooh, no. He watched his mother get killed by a clown that held him hostage. I'm not going to go into details. I'm just saying that. You got to go watch and find out.
Unfortunately, I think another issue I think this has is, well, I think maybe too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to villains.
Yeah. There was the series Big Bad, who you actually...
Whoa, are
you talking about Chairman?
I'm talking about all of them.
Okay. One was I did not classify as a villain.
I don't care. When it comes to antagonists, they get a bit more boring as they're cycled through.
First, we start out
less interesting. We're not going to go on who the villain is, because to be completely honest, there's so many twists, and like Shyamalan would say, well, that's enough.
Yeah. The only one I really want to talk about other villains is we've mentioned already, Master Asia, because
we're here it's plot reasons.
Yeah.
But
he was actually an eco-terrorist. That's all I'm saying. Watch.
And well, let's just get an overall ranking before my head explodes.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the music, which wasn't that bad, but not that great.
Not memorable.
We're talking about mid-90s. It's mid-90s music, anime music. It's not. Oh, it's more like. Graphics wise, like I said, it's mid-90s.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
There might be some slivers of Sakura, but not much to be
It's
noticeable.
one of those. Oh, I like, but it's not like. It's not. I want to get the song.
Right. Okay, and as of all overall ranking,
I'm gonna go.
I gotta go 2.5
out of 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3 only because of some of the storyline plots.
That's perfectly fine.
2.5, 3. It's a 2.75. It's not. It's like a middle ground. This is one of those stream it, watch for yourself, make a decision. It's not the highest score we got. It's not our lowest. Hell, it's not even in the negatives.
Which I don't think we'll be doing. unless it really needs it.
Yeah. Let me put it like this. There's gonna be times where you're gonna be like pulling your hair out. There's gonna be times you wanna cry.
Now, okay,
But it
so,
is a watch. Just a watch.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, I wanna watch this again. It's,
I mean, results may vary.
yeah. For us, it wasn't that.
If it's available for legal streaming on Crunchyroll,
And
you shouldn't need a premium account for it.
Yeah.
You also won't need anything premium wise to watch it here on YouTube.
Because it's right on Gundam Info.
Yes.
See,
All for
unpaid plug.
in the sub.
Yeah. Mind you, the two things we just mentioned are unpaid plugs.
Dub wise, which is an interesting watch.
Dub wise,
It might be a bit difficult to find outside of DVD releases.
Yeah.
It might be available on Crunchyroll, but and Hulu might have it too. So that's all for that's as far as I know, that's all for us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Dub wise, if you want to try watching it dub, you're going to have to hunt it down. It's not that easy to find.
I mean,
YouTube might have it uploaded in dub. We haven't checked.
right.
But as far as we know on Crunchyroll, it's in sub. Dub wise,
You're gonna have to hunt down the Blu-rays, which
it's not that bad.
no.
I'm not saying.
Both parts will probably run. Okay, both parts might run you about $100, but that's
Unless you say you get the collector's edition.
it's just gonna cost more.
Mm-hmm.
So just stick to the standard.
Unless you want that collector's edition.
Right.
If you're a Gundam fan and you want that collector's edition, go for it. It's up to you. But me personally, after watching Gundam Wing compared to this,
I haven't watched all of Gundam,
I've watched.
but I'm gonna say this. Hopefully, it doesn't get any lower than this.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't reviewed.
We haven't watched anything Universal Century, and we're voting on that last.
Yeah, and we haven't done reviews for any of the divers or build photos yet. So
Any of the build series,
yeah, so
which will come at a later date.
yeah, but I'm just saying, and those aren't going to be as low as this. Well, so far this is our lowest review account. I'm 666, your lovable demon 666.
I'm the king of chaos, known as Dread.
Keep it twisted, folks.
See ya.
I need a beer.